dund leen màggal Touba atum 2024 ci Mouridiyyah ak ci sunuy réseaux sociaux maanaam mbaalu jokko yi ngir bañ a wuute dara ci màggal gi wéy leen di seetaan Mouridiyyah ci TNT canal 13 canal plus 226 ak Eutelsat W16A Mouridiyyah TV moo leen di ñaanal màggalu jàmm.
صلاة الذي في كل سهر وفي سفر هماني هلا ماهن ما الأبس والسفر صلاة الذي في كل سهر وفي سفر هماني هلا ماهن ما الأبس والسفر.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. سدد لساني نوّر جناني صفي أماني وزد براهي بركة borom Touba. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our Khalif Cheikh AhmadouBamba. My wishes to the Murid community, to all the people who come in Touba for the celebration of the Grand Magal. I wish you to enjoy every second of your stay in Touba. Assalamu alaikum. We are back on Mouridiyyah for the series of show on itinerary of the servant. During our we talked about the first stage of Cheikh AhmadouBamba's exile, which was Makebari, Jeol, and Luga. On our previous episode, which was the second one, we talked about the stage of Saint Louis and Dakar. And today we are honored and happy and having a distinguished guest to talk about the final part of the exile, which contributed, positively, which had a great impact on Mouridism today and Cheikh AhmadouBamba's mission. And for that, I'm going to have my brother and Jorin, Dr. Adama Diouf, who is, by the way, the brother of my beloved friend, Mr. Gana Diouf. We are saying hello, by the way. Adama Diouf is the very first member of this English team in Mouridiyyah, and he's been working with the Pape Hassan Diouf and other members of Hizbut-Tarqiyyah for a very long time. We thank you so much for your dedication. Bismillah, a few words to our viewers before we start the show.
Thank you, Mr. Seydou. Seydou, it's a pleasure to come back here and then to hear youngsters like you to take our steps. Really, it's a pleasure to share this show with you. I'm very honored. I just say the Murid community and the world, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, to say that we will, with our little knowledge that we have about the Sheikh, we're going to share it, because I know that Serigne Abdoulaye Wade is more, or is brighter than me in terms of knowledge concerning the Sheikh.
He's a great guy.
But I will just follow your steps and then
For sure.
do for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Mr. Adama Diouf. We are expecting to have another guest, Mr. Hadim Diop, who is busy right now. He's in Joben. He's busy right now with the food downstairs, but he's going to probably to join us in a while. Bismillah, Mr. Abdoulaye Wade, who was supposed to be our commentator. He's my assistant these days, and I'm so happy to have you around.
Thank you very much, Jawrin Seydou. Thank you also, my teacher, Dr. Diouf. I'm very happy to discover that we were together in Lycée Zone de Recasement. Maybe we didn't have time to know each other over there, but it's really a pleasure to find you here. And thank you also, dear Jawrin Seydou. And I would like to greet everybody that are following us through Mouridiyyah, and wishing everybody also good Magal. I hope that this Magal will be just like a very good occasion for each one of us to just like commemorate the great things that Cheikh AhmadouBamba has done, and I'm very happy to be here with you.
Thank you very much. We can't talk about the Magal of Touba without talking about the exile, the topic we are dealing with today, because as you all know, the Magal commemorates the departure in exile of Cheikh AhmadouBamba. Alhamdulillah, Mr. Job just joined Joven, he has finished with the food and drink. Now he's around. Thank you very much. We know you made much effort to be around. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you can start with your presentation before we go on with the questions.
My co-debaters, thank you.
This is Ablai Wade, our president.
Hi, Ablai.
I know. I
Nice
think
to
you know
meet you.
Mr. Diouf.
Yeah, we
Adama Diouf.
met at the building actually because he was spending the night over there.
Oh, sure.
But I don't know him in person.
You'll get to know him for sure.
Right,
I'm
no
sure
problem.
you'll get to know
So,
him.
first of all, thank God for allowing me the time and the opportunity to be here. And I wanted to be here.
I know.
Since
a long time.
But yeah,
not just this year, but
I know, yeah, because
you and I know.
we know each other.
For sure, for sure.
In the field of teaching.
Teaching and serving Cheikh AhmadouBamba.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure for me to switch from the academic to the religious.
Thank you for that sacrifice.
All
We
right.
all do for the sake of promoting Cheikh AhmadouBamba's teaching and writings.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
since we our target is to take the teaching of Cheikh AhmadouBamba to an English-speaking audience, it's good to have people like you, teachers,
all right.
journalists, and doctors.
Thanks so
Alhamdulillah
much.
Rabbil Alameen. As I said at the beginning, today we are having the last show of the series of shows on the exile of Cheikh AhmadouBamba. And today, our final episode will be about Gabon. Mr. Dr. Diouf, Gabon was a very crucial part of the exile, let's say in the mission of Cheikh AhmadouBamba. But from Senegal to another country is another thing. It's really something big. Like they relocate Cheikh AhmadouBamba from Louga, Koki, to Saint-Lô, but it's still in Senegal. So what prompted the decision to exile Cheikh AhmadouBamba from Senegal now to Gabon? And how did he react to this new phase?
Thank you, Mr. Seydou. For the prompts, for my understanding, I have two prompts. I'll answer your question with 2 points. The first is that concerning the white man. The second concerns the Sheikh. To my understanding, the white man, when he came to the Sheikh to exile him to Gabon, it was to eliminate him. This was what hinted them to eliminate the Sheikh. But the Sheikh, when they came to see him, to tell him we're going to exile you to Gabon, the Sheikh knew that they would come, and the Sheikh knew that they would take him to Gabon. For that, this is what prompted. The Sheikh was expecting them to come. That's why it was not something, a surprise. No,
it was
not at all. Not a surprise at all. He was expecting them to come because he was in talk with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the messenger of God. He knew that they would come and propose him this. And from that coming, he knew that he was going elsewhere. And that departed into exile. Cheikh AhmadouBamba knew that the Sheikh, he's going to win something. Maybe that will come later to that, but he knows that he will win something. Now, how he react? The reaction was positive. Because it was not a surprise, the reaction. It was not a surprise at all.
He was prepared.
He was prepared. He knew they would come.
He was prepared.
For example, when I expected you gave me an invitation. So when I see you, I know that you are for the presentation.
You're not surprised.
I'm not surprised. You're coming. You're not surprised. This was what, when Cheikh AhmadouBamba saw the white man, saying them, we're going to exile him. They were ready to exile him for an total elimination, but he knew that, come, I'm waiting for you. I'm expecting you to come.
MashaAllah.
Do come.
MashaAllah.
Thank you so much.
All right. I'm sure they didn't know that. I mean, the colonizers, they didn't know that it was a surprise. It wasn't a surprise at all. MashaAllah. Join Bamba, we know that taking, even for a normal trip, like you go from one country to another, there is always, something that can change. There are always changes. And how how was the condition? Like, he was in Senegal, he could from time to time see his family maybe, or his followers, or people he knows. But taking him from one country to another, how was the situation in Gabon compared to now when we talk about Bakebari or Jewel or St. Louis or Dakar? What was the condition? How did Cheikh AhmadouBamba live this new phase in Gabon?
Because the trip to Ghana, to Gabon, I mean, it's so important. I can even say that it's the birth of the Mouridism, because Gabon maybe wouldn't be here celebrating the Magal. So just to mean that the trip was so important to him. Let's remember that the Sheikh asked for something that was, let's say, quite impossible for him, like to get to the high rank of the Sahaba, which I mean was quite impossible at his area, at his epoch. So it was not easy. So here I celebrate the boldness of the Sheikh, because being a Senegalese, an African, a black person, and wanting to belong to the highest rank of the Muslim, those who were working, living with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So that was something people couldn't imagine, but yet he did that. So it's something that really impressed me. It impresses me because I sometimes say to myself, if it was me or the case of most of the people, they would just think like to be a saint or just to be a good person, yeah. But he wanted to go beyond. Yes, and that's something that one aspect that we should learn from the Shah, to always be ambitious.
Thank you very much for that lesson.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we are greeting and thanking our partners, ProMobile, for their support, for being with us during the whole Magal. If you are in Touba and you want to purchase credit, you can do it with any wallet. You can buy credit with the ProMobile. If you buy credit 1,000 or more, they will offer you a present. So thank you very much to our partners, ProMobile, for everything you're doing during the Magal for us and for all the Murid community. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Ablaye, what is your turn? He talked about the decision that made Saint Touba leave Senegal all the way to Gabon. What was, the circumstances that led to that? What prompted the decision? And what condition did he find there, different from what he lived in Senegal?
All right. So I will be supporting what my two Devrins was saying, because that's sure when the French colonial authorities decided to just bring Cheikh AhmadouBamba to Gabon, that was for eliminating him, because the living conditions in Gabon at that time, even at this time, how it is described, when you bring someone over there, it means that you would like this one just no longer to exist. And Cheikh AhmadouBamba resisted very, very, very courageously, and that should be underlined when we talk about Cheikh AhmadouBamba and the trip to Gabon. So when we go back to the history and find that the influence that Cheikh AhmadouBamba were having in the Senegalese people, and the way that his teachings were just were going through the country, and the way also that disciples were coming and joining his message, his teachings, that situation just made the colonial authorities get afraid, saying that how can this one have all those people around him, and they were thinking about their own security and also their own interest, the interest they had here. because they found here some resistance, some people that said no, but when they came, we know with bribery or something like that, they had the possibility to bring some of the people that were resisting to join them in the, just like the way they were using people, the way they were behaving here. But Cheikh AhmadouBamba said no. He didn't want to accept that they should be the leaders here. And that resistance he was making, I can say that when we take the esoteric aspect of the reasons, we can't just like go through that. And it means that he was a good resistant. And when we talk about the fact that they've chosen just like Gabon to bring the Sheikh over there, you know, when you take Gabon and you see that it is far from Senegal, maybe they thought that that situation would weaken the influence that the teachings of Cheikh AhmadouBamba had on Senegalese people. But they were gravely mistaken about the Sheikh.
They were mistaken.
Because the Sheikh, his message, his spirit can't be stopped like that. And the result, we have seen it. Still now we are enjoying, we are celebrating, we are commemorating that trip he made in Gabon.
And to assassinate him,
yeah.
They wanted to put an end to his teaching, to his writing. But some things they didn't know is that the writing of Cheikh AhmadouBamba is something that God himself loves.
That's
something that is compared to nothing. There was nothing like that. That was light in darkness and false.
They will be the triumphant, and Cheikh AhmadouBamba will representing the party.
Mashallah, that's why we are celebrating him and celebrating his teaching 100 years after he passed away. Cheikh AhmadouBamba now is in Gabon, and the situation changes. How did he, what strategies did he use, did he adapt to now continue to practice his spirituality and, you know, adapt to this new area, new phase?
Mr. C, let me remind you of something. The condition of Gabon, meaning the environment of Gabon, it rains in Gabon more than it does in Senegal. But when the white man was taking him to Gabon, they thought that the climate would be so difficult for the Sheikh to bear it. That's why they took him there. First, because we have different climate, Gabon and Senegal. First, they said that he wouldn't bear the climate. Second, that the animals, meaning the ants that exist in those parts of
we have a story like that.
You cannot say it in Senegal.
No.
You cannot say that in Senegal. Yes. In Gabon, if I'm not mistaken, it rains 6 or 7 months out of 12.
Yeah.
More than in Senegal.
Yeah, it rains more than.
Yeah, more than in Senegal. I don't know exactly the duration, but it rains more than in Senegal. So they knew that they thought that the Sheikh wouldn't bear those conditions. That's why they took me there. But when they took the Sheikh there, know that the Sheikh was ready to bear no matter what it is, because he was expecting something, a reward. So that's why those conditions, everything they put in order to stop the teaching of the Sheikh resists. How did he resist? The Sheikh resists by worshipping Allah. He keep on worshipping Allah. That's the reason why he's worshiping Allah when they were taking him to Gabon. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he started worshipping Allah there on the way. Because when the time to pray came, it does not prevent the Sheikh from praying. So he was on the sea. This means that I'm on the sea, I keep on praying Allah, worshipping Allah. You take me there, no matter however the conditions are, I will keep on worshiping the Almighty. He worshipped the Almighty. Under no circumstance did he show any weakness to the white man. That's why the white man was so surprised.
Was so
Till
shocked.
now, they were shocked. Until now, in their minds, the Sheikh is above the other one. Is above because they did whatever they wanted, whatever they could. But they couldn't
They
eliminate.
tried everything.
Everything they could. They did it, but in vain.
In vain. In vain.
So the Sheikh is a Sheikh.
Yeah, he is. We know that Gabon was not a piece of cake for Cheikh AhmadouBamba. That was not really easy. If we talk about the historical context, what we have been taught, what we have been told and taught in history, what he faced there, the pains he faced, the painful treatments the colonizer inflicted. Yet he continued to praise, to write. He continued to worship God. He continued to pray more than we do. We are not prisoners. But the way he worshipped, the way he did in Gabon, nothing changed if we compare to what he was doing in Senegal. He did not do it less. Let's say he do it more. Now, how did he manage to continue his spiritual evolution during this phase of Gabon?
I mean that the condition that in which he was living in Senegal, while maybe free in Mbacké Kadior or Mbacké Bawol or whatever place he was here, the same way he was praying, he was doing while outside the country, away from his loved ones. And that is something, another thing, I mean, that is so impressive. And that is the Sheikh, despite being in captivity, despite living in harsh conditions, forest, rain, animals, whatever, he was still being the same, like doing the same thing on a daily basis. So no change. I love seeing outside, above the message, above what is true, what is apparent. I love seeing behind, and I like to say that what we need to learn from each of his teachings or deeds is what's behind, being resilient, no matter what. So in whatever condition a person might be living, you are a Muslim, you need to practice to worship God the same way you were doing it while free. And that is something he performed all over the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Earlier, we have Promobile as partners, and you can download the application, the Promobile application, to put your money there and do your transaction. Despite the fact that you can have other wallets, you can use your wallet, your Calpe Promobile, and they are partners of the Grand Magal of Touba. So don't forget to, if you want to buy credit, you can buy credit for Promobile using any wallet of your choice. So Mr. Wad, they both talked about the strategies, the way Cheikh AhmadouBamba adapt. What strategy did he use to continue his spiritual evolution and promote his teaching while he was in Gabon?
Yeah, that's sure. The situation he was living in Gabon was just like harsher, very hard than the situation compared to the situation in Senegal, because he, he had his family, he had just like the sheikhs and stuff like that. But in Gabon, there was isolation and there was also a distance from Senegal. And all those situations made that was complicated, or that should be complicated, that had to be complicated for the sheikh to succeed. But Cheikh AhmadouBamba, as I said it a while ago, the colonial authorities, they were mistaken about him, because the strategies they were making to stop his teachings or something like that, I mean, they didn't have the means to stop the spirit of the teachings. Yes, they didn't get it, because if they knew really about this one, if they knew that Cheikh AhmadouBamba, who was a servant, I mean, he had a service which were protected by God, they wouldn't do, I mean, all things they have done. But what is sure is that, as Jorin said it, if there was not maybe this trip to Gabon, maybe all these victories we have, we wouldn't just like have it. Yes.
Because that is something we're going to talk about, with the impact that it has right now in our life as Murid and in the Murid community. That we'll talk about that. But Cheikh Bamba, they thought he was a prisoner, but he was not. We know what really happened. Yet he had interaction, because his teaching resonated everywhere he passed, everywhere he's been. So how did he interact with the local population in Gabon?
So before the Sheikh interacted with the population, he interacted with the environment. When the Sheikh was taken to Gabon, he was sad. Not because he was going to bear hardship.
He was ready for the hardship.
He was ready for that.
Yeah.
He was sad not because of that. He was sad because he felt that in that environment, rare the name of Allah was mentioned. You can see that. How high that feeling is. You cannot have that feeling. I cannot have that feeling.
Only Bamba can have it. Only
Cheikh
him.
Bamba.
Only him.
That's where he studied. The people, the environment. Sheikh bear the environment over him. Take him in his hand and feel that this environment lacks something, the name of Allah.
Name of Allah.
First. The second is, if you know that this area lacks something, you're going to tell the people that to add that thing that is missing. The way he did is just to take those people naming the name of Allah, telling them, teaching them how you are going to bear this situation. How am I going to bear this situation? I make resonate the name of Allah very, very, very often. Always. And the local population, they followed him. Because they have never seen a man like Cheikh AhmadouBamba. They have never.
For sure. They have never seen.
And they will never see it.
We have never seen it. And we will never see someone like Bamba. Bamba is unique.
He's
and
unique.
We are lucky to have him in Senegal.
We're so lucky to have it.
So we will dedicate the rest of our life to serving Cheikh
To serve
AhmadouBamba,
him.
because that's the only thing we can do. Even if it's not gonna be enough, we will dedicate the rest of our life to Cheikh AhmadouBamba.
Of course.
And to
Of course.
try to deserve our being Murid. We have to deserve that by doing everything we can to promote his teaching and his message.
Of course.
Now, the same question, you can go with the interaction. What interaction did he have with the local population in Gabon?
Is a person who is unique in all aspects of life. A true Muslim should live with his neighbors in a very loved ways, meaning greeting them, doing good with them, all over the way. So Cheikh AhmadouBamba was that kind of person, not having a difference between his home country and another country. So the only thing that interested him was to worship Allah and to write poems on Allah or on the Prophet Muhammad. But apart from that, he was trying to have a very good living life with the neighborhood. we don't forget, at that time it was in a forest, so there were no close neighbors with him. But I remember they said that when the Korite happened, he tried, even if he was not living with neighbors, because we know after the Ramadan, you need to do something to end the Ramadan. And there were no people around him for him to celebrate or to do that action of keeping. So he went out of the forest and tried to find people to share with them the Ramadan. So just to mean that he was trying to do his best to live in the same way he should be living in his home country, even if he couldn't, because the condition did not, allow him to do that, because he was in a forest, away from the people, so no conditions, no way to live with the. That is something that is important.
And mashallah, Mr. President, I'll get back to you because we have one more question before we tackle the conclusion. So I'm going to ask this question to both of them, and we wrap up with the previous question for your time, right? Great. Now, he was, like, he mentioned it briefly during one of his comments, the impact that the exile, not the whole exile, but this Gabon stage has today on Mouridism, the impact it has. Maybe we'll say if there was no exile, we wouldn't be here celebrating the Magal of Touba, because we had a show yesterday where we talked about the founding story of the Magal, and this is a direct connection with the exile to Gabon. Now, what impact did this final stage have on his followers as Mouridiyyah and on Mouridism as a whole?
The impacts are several. You have several impacts.
Yeah.
The first is, you can see that a whole day worshiping Allah, reading the Quran, the Qasidas. This have no comment on that.
No comment.
You can see it.
No comment.
They eat fruit, meat they have never eaten before. Is
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
The other thing is to that. The other thing is it can travel from everywhere in order to do it. We gain something. So it means that Cheikh AhmadouBamba is contributing to the economy while he's no longer here.
Okay. For sure. MashaAllah.
You see?
That's true.
And then he said, when the back, we invite everybody to thank Allah for me. Seydou, if you do me a favor, I will thank you but once, and that's all I thought about your favor. But look how Cheikh AhmadouBamba, every year he thanks the Almighty for this.
For sure. Because God himself wants us to be grateful for him to give us more. La in shakartum la azidannakum.
You get
For
it?
sure, for sure.
So he thanking the Almighty when saying people on us. People and spiritually, I just move a little bit into the spirituality in terms of the writing of the Sheikh.
Go ahead.
When you read the writing of the Sheikh, I can tell you that in terms of writing, when you see his writing, one verse, you can learn everything in terms of history, in terms of literature, everything when you read his writing. And the teaching which is beyond the writing, the teaching beyond the writing. This is just what is on, you see. But what is that if you understand the verse, the lesson that can be drawn from the verse, spiritually.
His karamati hatuyat.
It's everything. So what I can tell about the Shah is
the same question goes to you, Mr. Job.
Like hearing Mr. Job detailing the impacts of the teachings of the Sheikh. And I often love to summarize the thing in like 2 words. And the reason why I do that is I so much love American people when I was young. I so much love American people when I was young, and one of their famous motto was working and worshiping God. And if I compare it to the teaching of the Sheikh, I can just summarize in those 2 words, ligay and jaamu Yàlla. So working and worshiping. Yes, I think that these 2 words are so important, and that's the legacy that he left us. And today, nowadays, wherever you see Murids, and I often like people when they say the ball in Dhaka, in some areas.
Everywhere.
So look at them the way they live. So going to the mosque, praying, reading the Hasid, and working. So the same 2 words, working and worshiping God. And I think that if the Sheikh has succeeded in a great thing, even without mentioning it, he teaches us, he taught us to be autonomous, to be religious, to be a good person in our life. So whenever you follow his teachings, his writings, whatever he said, for sure you're gonna be a good person, a better person in all aspects, religious aspects and the real life aspect. Sure. And I think that is the 2 things that we need to draw from the teachings of Cheikh AhmadouBamba, even if you can detail it like Diouf did, and I think you'll love to have that.
We have a special group.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Musa So is watching us right now. Hello, Mr. Musa, by the way, member of Munawwirus Sudur, all of us, part of this TV, and dedicating ourselves to the service of Cheikh AhmadouBamba. Now we have no rubrics ahead, and one of them is called the literary production of Cheikh AhmadouBamba, where we talk about the Hasidah, and we'll be so honored to have you during those the rubric. Mr. Watt, I know Mr. Njai is going to tell me 5 minutes, but before that, you can summarize just what they said about the interaction. Maybe we can skip that part, but the impact that the exile in Gabon has on his followers and Murid as a whole.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciated the developments they made, because what is important about what they were explaining is that is something we can just like verify now. That is just like we can see those impact they was explaining, and that is very important to emphasize that. So just take one example to talk about the impact. Let's take the Mouridiyyah brotherhood at this time. If today we are talking in English, explaining people about the message of the Sheikh, explaining people about the exile, explaining people about the things, the great things he has done, that's because the Murid brotherhood is no longer something that belongs to the Wolof community, the Senegalese community, the African community. It is something that is designated to everybody all around the world. Yes, that's it. Cheikh AhmadouBamba is universal. And it shows that the exile had an impact. Let's just take that and look at all those kind of realizations that the Murids are doing, and the examples of hard work they are, the Murids, the examples also of determination and all those things. Let's just take also the tolerance, which is something, the non-violence message of Cheikh AhmadouBamba, which are some teachings of the Sheikh that today we inherit from him. That is the legacy he made, and that legacy shows that there is.
Was that of pain.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that was the he was fighting using non-violence, but using knowledge and having trusting the Almighty. MashaAllah, Mr. Abdoulaye Wade, our dear president. So we are going to have the final part because there is always something to say. We have talked about the impact that the exile has on the followers of Cheikh AhmadouBamba, on Murid as a whole, but let's not forget the impact that it has on Gabon itself. Yeah, if you go to Gabon, and they tell you where their Ministry of Finance is, it has something to do with Cheikh AhmadouBamba, and so many other things.
Not only on Gabon, but in the U.S.
Yeah.
In the U.S., we have a Bamba Day. We have a Bamba Day there. It is celebrated in the U.S.
Yeah, it is.
This is culture exchange.
Yeah, for sure.
And people know that America is a melting pot.
It is a melting pot.
In terms of culture. So the Senegalese culture is drawn from Senegal to the United States thanks to Cheikh AhmadouBamba.
Yeah.
So it's an impact also.
Because he was turning around all over the world, so that's why we have that. So,
MashaAllah. Now, how about the legacy? I'm sure we briefly talked about it, but what about the legacy that he lives he lives to us, not only Murids, Muslims. What legacy did he leave to Muslims in general, and which is a result in the result of his exile to Gabon?
So. For me, the legacy is his writings. His writings. If you take into account his writings, because I'm interested in knowledge. His writings, if he insists on it, you can spend your whole life.
And yet not finish it.
And you will not finish it.
Yeah.
And you will be on the right path.
Yeah.
You won't have time to do something else.
Yeah.
Bear on that, stress on that, and your life will be.
And
perfect.
he said, you don't need even a spiritual retreat. تواصل أقلامي إلى الله هابدا بلا خلوة والله أقاك ما أهنا. You don't need any spiritual retreat.
Not at all.
My Hasidah can take you to that level.
You know, the first Hasidah I read from the Sheikh was Masalikul Jinan. And when I started reading the others, I realized that several of his writing come from Masalikul. He raised the issue from Masalikul and later developed it.
Okay.
Every writing, several writings of the Sheikh, he raised the issue in Masalikul.
MashaAllah.
And later write on it.
Please, Pap Hassan Diouf, if you are watching,
I love that.
it's urgent. The rubric with Musa Sow, this is urgent. People must know about the writing of Cheikh AhmadouBamba to an English-speaking audience, and it's our mission. Papa Hassan Diouf, if you are watching, this is so urgent, and this is a demand from all of us. All right? Please, the same question maybe, but I'm sure Mr. Njai is in a hurry.
Yeah, we're gonna finish it.
Now, let's talk about the influence that Murid community has today in the world. If you want that to continue, in what way can we continue to promote the message of Cheikh AhmadouBamba being universal and his teaching in Senegal and beyond?
Thank you, Seydou. And I'm so glad to hear when Mr. Diouf talked about the legacy, about the writings. And I guess the Venerable Cheikh Muntaha mentioned it lastly when he talked about we should read the Hasid, but try to understand the Hasid. Because when you understand the Hasid, you can, I don't know the man, but you would at least know something about the Sheikh. And this will help, rise your love for the Sheikh, and then maybe your spirituality, and it's important. And I think we should not also forget something, because when you talk about the Hasid in the writings, it might benefit the Murids mostly, and maybe the other Muslims who would love maybe to go and seek for information.
If they are Muslim.
Yeah,
Muslim
if they are, yeah, that's why I say yeah. So-
Because you know the writing of Cheikh AhmadouBamba. Some of them he praised the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him. But there are other writings that we are not very
open maybe.
Familiar with.
Yeah.
Like we know Mawahib, Hadimatu,
Yeah.
Jazbu.
Yeah.
But if you take Silkul Jawahir, for example,
Yeah.
there are things that you will say, man, I thought that was this scholar who said this. No, that was Cheikh AhmadouBamba.
Just to confirm you, I often meet people, they say, I don't know the Shah, but when I first read one of his Hasides, I began loving him. Because when you read, you will see the man, because Karamati Khatiyadi, you will see that, wow, this man is great. This man was not like someone only talking about himself or his family, but he was caring for all the people, praying for everyone, not saying only Muslims, but Muslims. And this is one aspect that we should take from him and keep. And the way we keep it, we know it, like learning the Hasid all the time and trying our best to get to know with the Hasid. But I love to mention the other aspect that we sometimes maybe forget to mention. That is the cultural aspect. When you go, back, years back, slavery, all those stuff. The white people, when they came, they tried to reshape our mind, making us believe that we are black, we are inferior, we are savages, animals, all those stuff. You don't need to go to school, just stay there and we're going to teach you.
Being regular people.
Yes.
Regular people.
So you should feel that you're inferior.
Yeah.
And until now, some people, if they don't maybe master that inferiority, they will still say that, yeah, I'm black, so I'm inferior. And the Sheikh, when he came, that's the first thing that he really deletes from the white people.
And they tried it by taking him to Mouridiyyah. They tried it.
Yeah, they tried. Yeah, just to say that, he helped us know more about ourselves. Because if you don't know about yourself, you might not be able to be in face of the humanity or any kind of people, because you will feel that you are not complete. There's something missing, always missing, and that's what white people succeed in doing with us. Now with the Shah, whenever you see a great murid, a real murid, he will never feel inferior in front of any like Indian or white or whatever. Yes. Proud to be black, proud to be murid, and proud to be that person living in the forest or whatever. And I think this is something and one aspect that we should not forget. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Because when he said Lam tansani rabbi wala ansaka, meaning you never forget me, my God, and me also, I will never forget you. God will never forget reminding Cheikh AhmadouBamba, but also putting his teachings just like making it moving forward. And for that we should be just like taking the Hasides and reading them, trying to understand, to grasp the message, and trying also to just like make it move forward. And I would like to end with something I read from Cheikh Ahmed, and I think it is something that just like summarize what we were talking about his legacy, because he said that he was an invaluable germ of compassion. Yes, and he said also he was a certain ocean of generosity, the most courageous hero who instilled this like hope in the hearts of his people and struck fear of his enemies. What is most important for me here, he said that Cheikh AhmadouBamba was a noble leader who wields dignity as both a weapon and an instrument to construct a robust, thriving society of possibilities. And it is very important, I think, to just like think about that, to try and make his message moving forward.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdoulaye Wade, and thank you for all of you for being here and for sharing your knowledge and your research with us, especially Mr. Dr. Diouf, who's been the first member of this English team in Al-Mouridiyyah, the very first one.
That's nice.
When he started it, he was alone.
Thanks
He was
to
with
him.
Papa Hassan Diouf, Mr. Bajan, by the way. Hello, Mr.
God will pay you.
Bajan. And so on. At that time, myself, I was a high school student. I'm sure you were in primary school or middle school. So thank you very much for your forever, contribution to this work, to our viewers.
I'm very happy also to share this tradition from my former students.
Yeah, of course. That's nice.
And then when he mentioned that I was a student in that school, so
That's good. Yeah. He learned his lesson very well.
you were right.
Yeah. Yeah. We can see that.
And
Bamba.
I'm very happy to share this as well. Okay.
Yeah. He's my cousin, Yeah, his cousin.
So that's very, very good to share.
Yeah, me as well.
I very much appreciate.
Thank you very, very much. Mr. Job, please, your final message. Our viewers and to the people who come to Touba for the
I want to have
celebration.
actually a final message, but I will just have words of thanks because and apologize.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
apologize
we understand. We understand you're busy with
because not only this time, but
downstairs.
for several times I wanted to be here. I wanted, but how busy I could be sometimes.
But I will always
because
continue to call people.
Yeah, do that.
Someone
And I love
someone
that.
like Cheikh Darusek. I have been calling him since
Yeah, this guy,
2021. Every year,
And
Cheikh
I lo-
Darusek, if
and
you
I
are
love
watching,
that
I
because-
will continue to call you.
Yeah, if you don't do that, maybe I will.
I promise to Sir Lamin Diouf that I will call every Murid English speaker to join our team, and I will, inshallah,
But anyway,
with your help.
count me in every time you want to do something. Even if I'm not here in
I won't
Touba,
miss
I'll
to.
be in San Luis. If it can be broadcasted online, I'm definitely in.
I won't miss
Thank
to.
you so much, and thank you, endlessly, because it was not easy. It's not easy, of course, to be here to try to to do your best to spread the word of the Sheikh. I remember, the first time you started it, it was not easy because I was saying, see, remember, he has a lot of time, to spend. But we can see that, you love this. It was true, the love was true. And I still can see that. That's why I decided to give a hand to help.
Thank you so much for that.
You can count on me wherever I am.
I
Thanks
know.
so much. I was glad to have, Abdoulaye Wade. And
he's the original journalist.
Yeah, I love hearing him because he's so good and so fluent too.
He is.
And if Diouf told me that he's his student, I can just say that Diouf was a great.
He got a
person.
good teacher, and he got a good student.
Like father, like son.
MashaAllah.
Thank you, Mr. Diouf, for the good thing you did. And Allah will
Mr. Wade,
reward you.
thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you so
Job.
much, yeah.
Mr. Wade.
So thank you very much, Jorin Seydou. Thank you also to my Jorins, my teachers, because it is always a pleasure to share a show with you, because we learn many things. And all those things we are learning are participating, just like on giving us some information, some knowledge that we can share. And it is the only thing we would like to do. Learning more about Cheikh AhmadouBamba and just like participating on promoting his message. So thank you very much, Jorin.
Very much. Thank you again, our viewers. And thank you again, our partners, Promobil, for everything you're doing for the Murid community and during this special occasion, which is the Grand Magal of Touba. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sharing, for being so generous, for your generosity. Better share your knowledge than die with it. And that's not what you're doing. You are sharing your knowledge. And I say that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of Cheikh AhmadouBamba. تولنا همرنا سحح لنا بدنا وهب لنا رشد والتوفيق يا الله وأولنا يا ربنا حسن الختام hindal mamati wa hadan yawmal hiyam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our Khalif, Cheikh Mouhamadou Muntaha Mbacké. Happy Magal to everybody. May the sun of our love for Cheikh AhmadouBamba never set. Jërëjëf Sëriñ Touba.
صلاة الذي في كل سهر وفي سفر هماني هلا ماهن ما